Sodanandana Rajananandana Yashodanandana Rajananandana
Namaste Saraswati Devi Guru Krishna So we need this is the first canto of the and we are studying the chapter 4, the clear sexuality, the day explanation.
今日閱讀聖典部江亞談第一篇第4章，題目係 Sri Narada 的出現，第8詩節。沙高度下啦。
第一篇
第4章第8個詩節。
第8，148。
Go do hana matram.
I'm reading the word for word, so you can follow. He. So go do hana matram he.
So go do hana matram he. Grihesu. Griha medinam. Avishate.
Grihesu griha medinam.
Grihesu griha medinam. Mahabhaga. Aveshate mahabhagas. Kirti. Kuvam. Tat ashramam. Tat ashramam.
Kirti kurvam stat ashramam.
Tirti kuvam stat ashramam.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Griyeshu griyamedinam.
Grihesu grihamedinam.
Adekshate mahabhagas.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Kirti kurvam tadashramam.
Tirti kuvam stat ashramam.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Griyeshu griyamedinam.
Grihesu grihamedinam.
Adekshate mahabhagas.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Kirti kurvam tadashramam.
Tirti kuvam stat ashramam.
Griyeshu griyamedinam.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Titri kuvam tat ashramam.
Titi kurvam stadashramam. Sagodohana matrim hi.
Grihesu grihamedinam.
Grihesu grihamedinam.
Avishate mahabhagas.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Tirti kuvam stat ashramam.
Kirti kurvam stadashramam.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Sagodohana matram hi.
Grihesu grihamedinam.
Griyeshu griyamedinam.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Aveshate mahabhagas.
Tirti kuvam stat ashramam.
Kirti kurvam stadashramam.
Sa
He Shukadeva Goswami.
He Sukadev. Ta Sukadev Goswami.
Shukadeva Goswami. Godohana matram.
Godohana matram. 只有擠一次牛奶，那樣長的時間。
He certainly
肯定地。
Griyeshu
Grihesu
in the house.
In the house.
在屋裏最幸運的
Kirti
弟弟
pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage.
朝聖
Kirti kurvam
Kurvam
transforming.
Transforming.
轉變成
轉變成
Tadhashramam
Tad Ashramam
residence.
the residence.
居所。
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada.
即係
He, Shukadeva Goswami, was accustomed to stay at the door of a householder only long enough for a cow to be milked, and he did just to sanctify the residence.
英文同要旨由聖巴布巴提供。他 Sukadeva Goswami 在居士家門前停留的時間，通常不超過給一頭牛擠奶的時間。他這麼做僅僅是為了聖潔化那住所。
Purport. Shukadeva Goswami met at any householder's residence for more than such asking for alms from the householder should be for the purpose of sanctifying his home. One who is in a renounced order of life should not be allured by the glamour of the householder's worldly possessions and thus become subservient to worldly men. For one who is in a renounced order of life, this is much more dangerous than drinking poison or committing suicide.
要旨 Sukadeva Goswami 與帝王 Parishit 相遇，並解釋了聖典博伽談的主題。他到居士家去接受布施，不會在任何居士家停留超過半小時擠牛奶的時間。他所光顧的那些居士家裏的人是幸運的，因為他吉祥的出現聖潔化了他們的住所。所以 Sukadeva Goswami 是處在超然狀態中的理想的傳教者。那些身處棄絕階層的奉獻者，一生傳揚神手信息的人，應該從他的活動中學習到，除了用超然的知識啟發居士，他們沒有必要與居士交往。向居士要求布施的戶所吸引，因而對富人卑躬屈膝、曲意奉承。對一個身處棄絕階層的人來說，這比喝毒藥和自殺還要危險。
Translation again. E Shukadeva Goswami Shakshuranitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachade Shatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are hearing Shonaka Rishi.
我哋而家係聽緊 Sonaka Rishi 嘅。
Shonaka Rishi is speaking on behalf of the sages of Naimisharanya.
佢係咧為咗代表住 Naimisharanya 嗰啲聖人咧詢問問題。
This is how the Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the sages of Naimisharanya asking questions to Sutta Goswami.
呢個聖典博伽談嘅顯現呢，就係、嚟自 Sonaka Muni， 佢咧係喺森林 Naimisara 嗰度咧，係代表住嗰啲聖人咧係向 Sutta Goswami 詢問問題。
And then Sutta Goswami, because he is a disciple of Shukadeva Goswami, he glorifies Shukadeva Goswami.
因為咧 Sutta Goswami 咧係 Sukadeva Goswami 嘅門徒啊，所以佢開始嘅時候咧就會去榮耀 Sukadeva Goswami 佢嘅靈性導師。
So their main, the sages of Naimisharanya, main curiosity, main interest is to hear why Shukadeva Goswami met with Parikshit Maharaj.
喺呢個嘅問題當中咧，就係話點解Sukadeva Goswami 咧係能夠同 Parikshit Maharaj 咧係相遇咧？
Because this meeting between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami is the most important meeting that we see throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam.
喺呢個聖典報告談裏邊當中咧，Sukadeva Goswami 同 Parikshit Maharaj 嘅相遇咧，就係非常之重要。
See, the first canto explains the qualification of a person who speaks and the person who hears.
喺呢個聖典報告談第一篇咧，係講述有關於講述聖典報告談嘅人嘅資格啦，同埋聆聽聖典報告談嘅人嘅資格。
In the beginning stage, like us, the speaker is more important than the audience.
喺最初嚟講咧，就係講述聖典報告談嘅人咧，就係比較咧係重要啲聆聽嗰啲嘅。
A speaker has to be qualified.
咁一個講述聖典報告談嘅人咧，必須係有資格先得。
No, I am not qualified.
Pardon？
I am not qualified.
但係我就冇資格。
Just chosen.
咁我咧只係被選擇係去講述
It's
聖
more
典報告談。
important that a speaker is qualified than the audience because in general people have no qualification.
咁咧講述聖典報告談人咧，就係比較係重要啲嘅，因為咧一般嚟講，聆聽聖典報告談咧，佢哋唔明白裏邊嘅內容。
Kali Yuga people do not have a qualification to hear spiritual topics.
喺加利年代嘅人咧，佢哋係冇具備資格咧，係去聆聽靈性嘅題目。
Oftentimes they are not even interested.
好多時佢哋都甚至唔冇興趣添。
Doesn't tell them anything.
咁你可以講任何嘢俾佢聽。
Or if they show little interest, they hear from one ear and the sound goes out to the other.
咁甚至咧，你同佢哋講有關靈性嘅題目嘅時候咧，佢哋就係好多時左耳入右耳出。
And then when a human being becomes more interested, more attracted to people like us,
就譬如話，好似有啲係好似我哋嘅人啦，好似係佢哋比較對靈性嘅題目有興趣嘅時候咧，
then we become more interested in hearing.
咁咧喺聆聽方面咧就比較有感興趣啲啦。
But our hearing can be very, very poor.
咁但係我哋嘅聆聽嘅能力又非常之差嘅。
If the speaker is an entertainer, then the audience feels very lively.
咁如果嗰個講者係講得好有興趣嘅時候咧，咁嗰啲人咧聆聽嗰啲人咧就有興趣啲啦。
Tells many stories that we don't know. Oh, we feel very attracted.
咁如果講咗好多嘅故事俾佢哋聽咧，佢哋好有感興趣啦，因為未聽過。
But if it's too much philosophy, we hear for some time and then our attention is gone.
咁但係講一啲嘅哲學性嘅問題嘅時候咧，咁開頭係有少少嘅留心嘅，咁但係慢慢咧咁就唔專心啦。
That's why they say in general, people just hearing subject matter is the least effective way of learning a subject.
咁如果一個人咧係對某啲嘅題目咧係有興趣嘅時候咧，呢個咧就係比較容易係去了解呢個嘅題目內容啦。
Because we don't have a very long attention span.
因為我哋咧並唔會有好長嘅聆聽嘅能力。
after a short time, mind should bring us to many things we have to do during the day.
冇幾耐咧，個心意咧就會諗下呢樣嗰樣啦。
And then we come back and we listen a little bit and then go away again.
就冇幾耐又翻嚟又聽下，聽下又諗咗第二啲嘢啦。
Very difficult to be fully concentrated.
非常之難咧，係集中精神去聆聽嘅。
Srila Prabhupada purposely, he gave very short lectures.
咁啊，聖巴布巴咧，佢講呢個講座嘅時候咧，佢係特登咧係講得比較短啲嘅。
Most of his lectures are between 20 and 30 minutes.
大多數嘅時間咧都係20零30分鐘。
Because he knew that after some time, very difficult for people to remain attentive.
因為佢明白到咧，好多人咧都係好快脆咧就係冇咗注意力嘅啦。
So this dialogue between the sages of Naimisharanya and Sutta Goswami is the least, the lowest type of dialogue in Srimad Bhagavatam.
咁係聖典博家談裏邊咧，喺 Naimisharanya 呢啲嘅呢個森林裏邊嘅聖節咧，同 Sutta Goswami 嘅對話咧係最基本嘅話語嚟嘅。
Does not mean he's not exalted. He's a very exalted dialogue, but he's the least qualified dialogue.
咁並不是話咧佢呢個唔係好崇高嘅內容，而係佢係兩個對話之間嗰個嘅程度咧係比較初階啲嘅。
Because the sages of Naimisharanya are not pure devotees.
因為喺 Naimisharanya 裏邊嘅聖節門咧，佢哋都大多數唔係全部好純粹嘅。
They still have material desires.
佢哋仍然咧係有物質嘅慾望。
So we can identify ourselves with them.
咁因此咧，我哋就可以咧同佢哋咧係即係同佢哋咧嘅身份就差唔多啦。
We have some qualification, but not much qualification.
我哋係有少少資格，但係咧資格咧並不是全部有。
But Sutta Goswami is very qualified.
但係 Sutta Goswami 咧，佢本人咧就非常之有資格嘅。點解咧？
Because he heard from a very, very qualified speaker.
因為佢係從一個非常之有資格嘅人咧，聆聽聖典博江亞談。
No, Sutta Goswami.
Sukadeva Goswami。
Sukadeva Goswami.
咁佢咧 Sutta Goswami 咧係從 Sukadeva Goswami 嗰度聆聽嘅。
Goswami heard from his father Vyasadeva.
Sukadeva Goswami 咧就從佢嘅父親 Vyasadeva 係聽聖典博江亞談。
Sutta Goswami is qualified because he heard very attentively from his spiritual master when he spoke to Parikshit Maharaj.
Sutta Goswami 咧，佢係有資格嘅講述嘅，因為佢係聆聽聖典博江亞談嘅時候咧，係非常之專注。
Before that, he was not qualified.
之前咧，佢亦都唔係好有資格。
But after hearing from Sukadeva Goswami, he became qualified.
但係佢從 Sukadeva Goswami 去聆聽聖典博江亞談嘅時候咧，佢就變得有資格啦。
But the sages of Naimisharanya still have material desires.
喺 Naimisharanya 森林裏邊嘅聖節門咧，佢哋都係有物質嘅慾望嘅。
They are performing sacrifices, hoping that by performing those sacrifices, they can mitigate the effects of Kali Yuga.
佢哋啲聖節門咧，佢哋係舉行一啲嘅祭祀啦，就能夠係將所有嘅眾生嗰啲，即係希望咧係將嗰啲眾生嘅罪孽咧係減少。
But certainly they were sincere.
肯定咧，佢哋係非常之誠懇嘅。
And Sutta Goswami came to them.
咁因此咧 Sutta Goswami 咧就去到佢哋嗰度啦。
In between sacrifices, they were going to do a sacrifice for 1,000 years.
佢哋係做咗呢個祭祀咧係1000年咁耐。
You know, sacrifice, fire, burning, chanting mantras, smoke, all the time. And they were going to perform this sacrifice for a long time.
咁喺祭祀嘅時候咧，就有火啦，同埋有煙啦，咁咧同埋咧係非常之多煙灰嘅。咁因此咧，佢哋係做呢個祭祀嘅時候咧，都有好大嘅能力啊。
But they had some free periods, and during these free periods, they used to hear from the Puranas, stories from the Puranas, Upanishads, and the different scripts, Mahabharata, Ramayana.
咁喺呢個祭祀獻上時候咧，就係佢哋係有分開幾個階段嘅。咁每個階段之間咧，佢哋就會聆聽呢一啲嘅經典啦，譬如 Purana 啦，係Mahabharata 啦，
until Sutta Goswami came there.
直至咧係 Sutta Goswami 咧去到呢個地方嘅時候，
So then they knew Sutta Goswami had heard Srimad Bhagavatam.
佢哋知道 Sutta Goswami 咧係從Sukadeva Goswami 咧係聆聽聖典博江亞談。
So their eagerness to hear more increased.
咁因此咧，佢哋就好熱衷咧係去聆聽，想去聆聽更多嘅聖典博江亞談內容。
But this is the least qualified hearing. The least qualified hearing is the sages of Naimisharanya.
咁呢個佢哋嘅呢啲嘅聖節咧，佢哋係嘅資格咧係最低限度係有最少嘅資格啦，去聆聽嘅。
Maybe much better than us.
但係對即係同我哋嚟講相比咧，佢哋比我哋更有資格啦。
Higher than the sages of Naimisharanya is Vyasadeva.
咁比Vyasadeva 更高，佢哋咧係比 Vyasadeva 更高嘅咧，就係sorry 喺 Vyasadeva 係比較佢哋更高嘅。
So Vyasadeva heard from Narada Muni, yes.
咁 Vyasadeva 咧，佢係從 Narada Muni 咧聆聽聖典博講亞談。
Narada Muni is more qualified than Sutta Goswami.
咁Narada Muni 咧比 Sutta Goswami 咧係更有資格嘅。
When he was a small child, he was already very renowned.
咁喺一個好年幼嘅時候咧，佢就已經係好氣絕㗎啦。
This chapter is going to narrate his story.
咁呢個章節咧，亦都係講述咧有關於 Narada Muni 嘅故事。
So he had already, from the very early age, an attraction for spiritual life.
喺年幼嘅時候咧，佢對於呢個靈修嘅生活咧，嘅知識咧係非常之渴望去認識嘅。
He heard from the Bhaktivedanta.
佢從呢個 Bhaktivedanta 嗰度咧係聆聽。
During this period, Chaturmasya,
咁喺呢個 Chaturmasya 呢個月份，
because Chaturmasya, the great sages, they don't travel.
咁喺呢個月份咧，嗰啲偉大嘅聖節咧就唔會去旅遊嘅，
The roads are muddy and they're difficult to travel with rain.
因為咧係有大雨啦，咁路咧就比較泥濘啦，所以咧係好難去旅遊。
They were staying in one place and they were served by Narada Muni's mother, and Narada Muni's small child was also healthy.
佢哋咧停留喺 Narada Muni 母親嘅屋裏邊咧，去聆聽有關於聖典博加亞談。
He became perfect in one lifetime.
咁喺呢一生裏邊咧，佢就得到完美嘅生活啦，生命啦。
Now, this is when he appeared again in this new creation, and he is taking the role of spiritual master of Srila Vyasadeva.
喺呢個嘅卡利年代裏邊咧，咁係Narada Muni 咧就成為咗 Sri Vyasadeva 嘅靈性導師。
So Narada Muni is much more qualified than Sutta Goswami.
咁喺 Narada Muni 咧係比 Sutta Goswami 咧係更加係進步嘅。
And Vyasadeva is more qualified than the sages of Naimisharanya.
Sutta Goswami 咧係比 Naimisharanya 嘅聖人咧係更加高階。
You see, higher level of speaker, higher level of listener.
咁咧喺一個更高嘅講述嘅人嘅資格咧，同埋聆聽咧聖典博加亞談咧嘅人咧，亦都係有更高嘅資格。
They have more qualification.
佢哋有更多嘅資格。
Qualification to speak, qualification to hear.
佢哋係有資格去聆聽啦，同埋去講述。
So Srila Vyasadeva was very attentive.
咁 Srila Vyasadeva 咧，佢當時係非常之專注嘅，
He was very eager to hear from Narada Muni
非常之
about this, why he was feeling incomplete.
咁非常之係熱衷咧，係從Narada Muni 裏邊咧係聆聽，因為咧佢嘅內心係感到非常之唔滿意，即係唔滿足。
Because he had edited, had written so many books, composed so many books, all
Yep.
the Vedas, the Purana, Upanishad, and so many things, and still was not very satisfied.
因為咧佢編撰咗好多嘅經典咧，就係 Upanishad 啦，同埋其他嘅經典啦，但係內心咧仍然感到唔滿足。
And Narada Muni came at that time to detect the reason why he was not fully satisfied.
Narada Muni 咧，佢嚟到佢嘅面前咧，就講述有關於佢指出咧嗰個重點咧，佢係點解唔滿足。
He had not spoken, had not written anything concentrated on Krishna and Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's teaching.
佢咧因為冇去重點去描述有關於 Krishna 嘅嘅教導咧，同埋逍遙時光。
This is all throughout the Vedas and the Puranas and the Upanishads, but here and there amidst demigods and so many other things. But something just about Krishna. He had not written.
有關於 Krishna 嘅逍遙時光咧，喺其他嘅經典咧都係有講述嘅小部分。但係喺呢但係咧 Srila Vyasadeva 咧，佢就冇集中咁樣去講述有關於 Krishna 嘅逍遙時光啦，同埋教導嘅。
So the need of Vyasadeva was much more exalted than the curiosity or the interest of the sages of Naimisharanya.
咁因此咧 Srila Vyasadeva 佢嘅對靈性嘅知識咧嘅渴求咧，同埋嘅好奇咧，係比Naimisharanya 個聖人嗰啲嘅內心嘅渴求咧係更加高嘅。
Because he had compiled all the Vedas, everything for the benefit of human beings, and he still was not satisfied. So what he needed, he was really need to hear from a very qualified teacher what he should do to feel more complete.
因為佢咧編撰咗好多嘅經典咁，但係內心仍然感到唔滿足。佢咧係感到呢個唔滿足咧，係想去解決呢個問題，因而咧就向佢嘅靈性導師咧係講述點解咧係呢個問題會出現。Vyasadeva 係冇物質嘅慾望嘅。佢完全咧係非常之不依附啦，同埋氣絕嘅。咁因此咧，佢係有一個具備資格咧去聆聽嘅。
So this is the second level qualification of the speaker and hearer.
咁因此咧，呢個係講述博加雅談嘅講者咧嘅資格咧。
And the third level, highest level is Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj.
最高嘅資格去聆聽同埋講述聖典博加雅談嘅人咧，就係 Shukadeva Goswami 同埋 Parikshit Maharaj。
Shukadeva Goswami is more qualified than Narada Muni.
咁Shukadeva Goswami 咧係比 Narada Muni 咧係更有資格。
Shukadeva Goswami from the very beginning was already liberated when he took birth.
咁Shukadeva Goswami 咧，佢從一頭開始咧，佢就已經係一個非常之高超嘅人。
He was, and he became immediately a very short time become attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam.
咁喺非常之短嘅時間咧，佢就非常之倚附聖典博加雅談。
And Maharaj Parikshit is most qualified here.
咁Maharaj Parikshit 咧，佢就最有資格去聆聽嘅。
Why?
點解咧？
Because he was going to die.
因為佢咧就即將要死亡啦。
He knew he was going to die in 7 days.
佢知道咧，佢喺7日之內咧就要死亡。
So he renounced everything.
咁因此咧，佢係棄絕一切嘅嘢。
And he went to the banks of the Yamuna or Ganges.
因此咧，就去到Yamuna 河或者係恒河嗰度咧。
And waiting for a solution, for an answer to his question about what is the duty of a person who is about to die, what he should do, what he should not do.
咁咧，佢就係想去知道一個將要死亡嘅人咧，佢應該要做啲咩咧？同埋咧係一個人咧係喺一生裏邊咧，亦都係應該要做啲咩咧？
His interest, his question was the highest level of all questions.
佢嘅問題咧係所有問題之中咧係最高超嘅。
Is the most important question a human being should ask.
咁呢個係人類咧係必須要去聆聽嘅問題嚟嘅。
What should I do? What should I not do since I'm going to die?
咁因為我就嚟死啦，咁但係我應該要做啲乜，同埋要唔好做啲乜呢？
Maharaj Parikshit was very fortunate
Maharaj Parikshit 非常之幸運，
because he knew he had 7 days.
因為佢知道咧，佢只係有7日咧係生存。
Do we know that we have 7 days?
咁我哋知唔知我哋有幾多日係會再生存嘅
We
咧？
may think that we still have many days and many months, many years, right?
我哋咧就會諗，我哋仲有好長嘅時間生存落去啊！
But no guarantee,
但係冇保證嘅，
no guarantee. Death can come at any time.
因為咧死亡咧係任何時候都會嚟嘅。
So it means that question is related to all of us.
因此咧，嗰個問題同我哋咧係有相關嘅。
What should we do, what we should not do since we are about to die?
咁我哋去就嚟死亡嘅時候，我哋應該要做啲乜，同埋唔好做啲咩咧？
I don't know in Cantonese how they say, but in English we say, oh, my child is 1 year old, 5 years old, 50 years old, 100 years old, always old, old. Means he's getting old right from the very beginning. Old means just before dying.
咁喺英文嚟講咧，就係、我兒子有1歲、2歲、3歲、5歲大啦。咁但係咧，呢個大咧意思着咧，佢係年老啊，即係就嚟死亡。
So Parikshit Maharaj was more qualified here than Vyasadeva, than the sages of Naimisharanya.
咁啊 Parikshit Maharaj 佢係比 Vyasadeva 同埋咧喺 Naimisharanya 嘅嗰啲聖人咧嘅聆聽嘅資格咧係更加高嘅，
Because the level of his question was very high.
因為佢嘅問題嘅標準咧係更加高啊。
His interest to know was much higher than.
問題比其他人咧係更高。
That's why the best speaker came to him.
咁因此咧，一個最優良嘅講述聖典博伽亞壇嘅人咧，就出現佢面前啦，
Shukadeva Goswami.
就係 Sukadeva Goswami。
Shukadeva Goswami had nothing to do with Rajwas.
咁咧但係 Sukadeva Goswami 咧仍然咧就去到Parikshit Maharaj 面前喎，
Because he knew Parikshit Maharaj was qualified.
因為佢知道咧Parikshit Maharaj 係將會死亡。
Not because he was just a king, he was the son of a great souls, associates of Krishna, the Baladeva.
咁並不是咧 Parikshit 王咧，佢係一個
In his
帝王
family.
啦，或者係一個係優秀嘅奉獻者。
So he was from a very exalted devotee family.
佢嚟自一個係非常之崇高嘅奉獻者家庭。
So it was not just an ordinary king.
對於一啲嘅普通嘅事咧係不感興趣。
Otherwise, you see, here in this world, Shukadeva Goswami would go, would be walking, just wandering around, and would not stay in a house about more than half an hour. Srila Prabhupada says.
咁喺呢度講咧，就係Sukadeva Goswami 咧，就係去到任何地方咧，就係唔會停留多過半個小時嘅。
Half an hour is more than what is needed to milk a cow.
咁半個小時去擠一個牛奶嘅咧，就係其實係好多嘅。
Maybe Srila Prabhupada is referring to the fact that a householder usually have 2 or 3 cows giving milk for the whole family.
咁聖巴布巴咧就講述係半個鐘頭嘅時間去揸牛奶，但係可能咧呢個其實唔需要咁多嘅揸隻牛嘅牛奶，但係一個家庭裏邊咧可能有多幾隻牛，所以咧需要多啲時間。
Here I'm speaking with experience.
Pardon？
Here I'm going to speak with experience.
咁咧就係我而家係講緊有啲嘅我嘅呢個經驗啦。
Because I milked cows for many years as a devotee.
因為咧作為奉獻者咧，我就係試過咧係揸牛奶嘅。
The first time I milked a cow, it took me 45 minutes.
40
45 minutes.
就開始第一次揸牛奶咧係需要45分鐘，
I was so scared.
我就非常之害怕，
Such a big body.
咁大隻牛，
And I'm just there underneath.
我就係踎低咧係揸牛奶，
And don't know how to do exactly.
咁又唔知道點做啦。
She was very tolerant.
嗰隻母牛非常之
They,
忍耐我，
they extremely, actually, they gave me the more tolerant, the more patient cow to milk because it was the first time.
因為咧我係第一次揸牛奶，咁因此咧喺呢個牛棚裏邊嘅人咧係揾一隻咧係最有耐性嘅牛咧係俾我揸牛奶。
So I was there milking 45 minutes to take just a little bit of milk.
用咗45分鐘咧去揸牛奶，只係咧揸到少少嘅奶出嚟。
But then when I became more expert after doing for many years,
咁啊做咗好多年，我就有啲經驗啦。
in 10 minutes could milk a cow,
咁你10分鐘咧，其實可以嘥到一啲牛奶，
maybe 20 liters of milk,
或者係1公升咁多啦。
10 to 20 liters.
10分鐘之內，
So that was the time. Well, according to Prabhupada, it says half an hour. So we take it as half an hour means the cow and people in a house, the couple in a house, they had maybe 2 or 3 cows.
咁聖巴寶巴喺呢個要旨裏面講到咧，係半個鐘頭去揸牛奶咧，其實咧係意味咗咧係呢家人咧係有幾隻牛。
So you would wait just there at their door. You wait, Shukadeva Goswami wait at their door
咁啊 Sukadeva Goswami 咧就喺門口度等啦。
to give his blessings.
咁啊俾祝福佢哋啦。
His presence by itself was his blessings to them.
佢淨係咧就係出現喺佢哋面前咧，已經係非常之淨化佢哋啦。
That's the power of a saintly person.
呢個咧就係一個聖人聖潔嘅人嘅力量啦。
Simply by being in a place, in one place, that place becomes sanctified.
就係話出現一個地方嘅時候咧，嗰一個地方嘅人咧，立刻咧就已經得到淨化。
That's why saintly persons go to holy rivers,
咁啊，聖人咧就係去呢啲聖河嗰度嘅，
not to become purified,
咁唔係話咧係想得到淨化，
because they are already pure.
因為佢哋本身都已經純粹㗎啦。
They go there to absorb the sin that people live in those holy places.
佢哋係將呢個係其他人喺留低喺聖地嘅一啲嘅罪孽咧，係將佢哋咧係吸收。
So in this way, the holy place remain pure.
因此呢個聖地咧係變得純粹啦。
Because people go to the holy places to dump their sins, their impurities, and try to become purified.
咁啊，去聖地嘅人咧，佢哋將佢哋啲嘅業報咧係放咗喺聖地嗰度。
So Shukadeva Goswami was not going to the house of householders because he needed milk.
咁啊，Sukadeva Goswami 咧去到呢啲人嘅居士嘅屋嗰度咧，唔係話希望咧係可以得到牛奶嘅。
His need was secondary.
咁佢嘅需要咧係次要嘅啫。
His main intent was to purify their homes.
佢嘅主要嘅目的咧就係要將佢哋嘅家居咧係淨
Because
化起
they're
嚟。
householders, they have to take care of the family business, and maintaining, do many material things.
因為佢哋嘅居士咧，佢哋要照顧家庭咧，同埋咧係接觸好多物質嘅事務。
They have to work, they have to go to job.
佢哋要工作啊。
So they don't have much time for spiritual life.
咁因此咧，佢哋咧並有太多時間咧係去有關於學習靈性嘅事物。
So Shukadeva Goswami was there just waiting till they finished milking the cows, and then they will give him a little bit of milk.
咁 Sukadeva Goswami 咧就係去到呢啲居士嘅門前咧，就等待佢哋咧係揸咗啲牛奶咧就俾佢。
Usually a quarter of a liter.
通常係1/4 lit 嘅。
And this was enough for Shukadeva Goswami to maintain himself.
咁咧已經係足夠咧係維係 Sukadeva Goswami 嘅生活㗎啦。
That's why the saintly person, yogi, quarter of milk is enough.
咁啊，對於成人嚟講咧，1/4 lit 嘅奶咧已經足夠佢哋生活
It
㗎啦。
shows the power of cow's milk.
咁呢個咧就亦都係知道咧牛奶嘅力量啊。
It contains all the nutrients that the human body requires.
係呢個牛奶咧係裏邊咧嘅營養咧係足夠一個人嘅生命嘅。
So why many people are allergic to milk?
咁點解有咁多人咧係敏感飲牛奶咧
Why many people do not drink milk?
？Why not？
many people do not drink milk.
點解有咁多人唔飲牛奶呢？
First, they think milk comes from the 7-Eleven.
咁咧第一咧就係、牛奶咧係嚟自71嘅超市。
They don't even think it comes from a cow. They
Come-
just, I got from 7-Eleven.
咁佢哋甚至乎唔知道啲奶咧係邊啲嚟，係從邊啲動物嚟嘅。
And they have these bottles, small bottles of milk. They just open and drink like that.
咁佢哋咧攞咗個牛奶咧一盒咧就咁樣飲啦，
Terrible.
恐怖，
You cannot digest it.
因為佢消化唔到嘅。
First, it's cold
首先咧就係凍嘅啦，嗰啲奶，
and it's not boiled.
同埋冇煲過。
The milk, when the calf drinks, is warm,
當牛仔飲啲奶嘅時候咧，嗰啲奶係暖嘅，
at least 40 degrees.
最少40度。
The temperature of the body's cow is a little higher than human beings.
牛嘅體温咧係比人嘅體温咧高啲嘅。
So it's already warm when they drink, and they have a stomach for the made for digestion of raw milk.
咁咧就係牛仔嘅裏邊嘅胃咧，佢能夠咧係消化到嗰啲奶嘅，
But human beings don't have.
但係人類咧就冇呢個胃去消化呢
So
啲
that's
奶。
why people drink raw milk, and then they feel they cannot digest and say milk is not good.
咁咧就好多人咧就係因為飲啲奶咧就未曾煮過時候咧，佢哋就消化唔到啦。
Yes, milk has to be boiled,
奶應該係要煮熟嘅，
not just to make warm, boiled.
唔單止去暖啊，而係要去煮滾佢，
And should be boiled 3 times.
亦都係要滾3次嘅喎。
Yes, you boil, you take out of the fire or put the fire down, and then boil again, and boil again 3 times.
煮滾要3次，
Offer,
跟住供奉啦，
and then drink it very hot, as
Come.
hot as possible.
同埋咧係就係越熱越好啦啲奶。
And then it's excellent food, excellent.
咁我哋就呢個咧係完美啦。
Srila Prabhupada says the best food to nourish our fine tissues in our brains.
咁咧牛奶咧，聖巴布巴話咧係能夠滋養我哋腦部嘅細胞。
If people would drink good cow milk, they would have more brains.
咁如果啲人咧去飲一啲係靚嘅牛奶咧，同埋係煮滾咗嘅咧，咁佢哋嘅頭腦更加完善，
They would be more brighter,
佢哋會比較有光燦啲啦。
more attracted to important things in life.
咁咧能夠係處理更多係喺生命中最重要嘅事。
They would question more about their problems in life, and they would try to find a real solution.
佢哋會諗咧呢個人生嘅問題係乜嘢咧，同埋咧係會思考咧係點樣去解決呢啲人生嘅問題。
Cow milk is a miracle.
牛奶咧係一個奇蹟嚟嘅，
It's a miracle food.
係一個奇蹟嘅神奇嘅食
That's
物
why
嚟嘅。
cows are so worshipped, so respected throughout Vedic culture.
咁因此咧母牛咧係喺所有嘅呢個地方裏邊咧係被崇拜嘅，
Mainly because of the milk.
因為咧佢哋嘅牛奶啦。
Of course, everything the cow gives is all good.
咁咧所有牛所給予嘅嘢咧都係好嘅喎，
The stool is good,
佢哋嘅糞便都好嘅
the，urine is good,
佢哋嘅尿液亦都好嘅。
and if when they die, you can use their skin is good, can do mandangas, can do clothes, can do shoes.
咁當佢哋死嘅時候咧，嗰啲牛皮咧亦都可以做其他嘅物件。
Everything is good about it.
對牛嚟講咧，每一樣嘢都係好嘅。
So yes, Shukadeva Goswami, he stays very short time in a house of mundane people.
咁因此咧，Sukadeva Goswami咧，佢喺一啲嘅世俗嘅家庭裏邊咧，係停留咗好少時間嘅啫。
So Sutta Goswami is narrating this, the story of his Guru Maharaj, because he's gonna describe why he came to meet Parikshit Maharaj. So wants to show his qualifications, how he was so renowned.
咁 Sutta Goswami 咧係從 Sukadeva Goswami 咧係聆聽到有關於Parikshit 王咧所問嘅問題。
He was absolutely no attraction for material life.
佢對於呢個物質嘅生命咧係絕對係冇興趣嘅。
So he is the highest qualified speaker in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
因此咧，佢係喺呢個聖典博伽亞提裏邊嘅講述者咧係最優秀嘅。
But Parishit Maharaj is also the most qualified here.
咁Parishit Maharaj 亦都係具備最有資格咧去聆聽嘅。
And the qualification, the most important qualification should be of the hearer, right?
咁咧最重要嘅資格咧就係點樣去聆聽啦。
A person who speaks already knows, like Shukadeva Goswami is already self-realized. What he speaks is pure, but it's the most important is how people are going to get his message, how you're going to hear his message. This is the most important.
就 Shukadeva Goswami 咧，佢係最有資格去講述聖典博伽亞談啦。咁但係去聆聽聖典博伽亞談嘅人咧，必須咧亦都要去具備最有資格嘅。
So Shukadeva Goswami speaks the Srimad Bhagavatam because Parikshit is the most qualified listener.
Shukadeva Goswami 咧去講述聖典博伽亞談咧，原因就係嗰個聆聽者咧Parishit Maharaj 係最有資格去聆聽。
He came there, he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam and he disappeared.
咁佢嚟到去講述講聖典博伽亞談之後咧，就離開啦。
But Srimad Bhagavatam is so powerful.
咁就係聖典博伽亞談係非常之有力量嘅。
It's the only hope in Kali Yuga.
喺呢個卡利年代咧，聖典博伽亞談咧就係唯一嘅希望。
Is the light in the darkness of Kali Yuga.
佢喺呢個卡利元年代嘅黑暗之中咧係嘅光明嚟嘅，
None different from Krishna.
同 Krishna 係冇分別。
Because Srimad Bhagavatam is all about Krishna.
因為聖典博伽亞談咧都係講述有關於 Krishna 嘅事嚟嘅，
Either directly or indirectly.
就係直接或者係間接咁樣去描述有關於 Krishna 嘅。
The goal of Bhagavatam is to show us Krishna.
喺聖典博伽亞談嘅目的咧，就係講述啊，同埋係展示咧 Krishna 俾我哋知道啊，
And the process to know him, to love him.
就係點樣去認識啦，同埋愛 Krishna 嘅程序問題。
It's very good today to hear about the level of the speaker and the listener. It's the first time we hear.
咁第一次去聆聽咧，就係話講述同埋聆聽聖典博伽亞談嘅資格嘅層面嘅程度，
This
亞談嘅人嘅資格。
But the highest qualification should be in a hearer, the one who hears.
咁咧就係去聆聽嘅人咧係必須要具備有資格。
Because if the listener is very qualified, even if the speaker is not qualified, he's going to get benefit.
咁啊，因為咧，就算啊講述聖典博伽亞談嘅人咧係冇唔係好大資格嘅話咧，佢聆聽嘅人咧，佢係最有資格嘅時候咧，佢就能夠咧係認識最多聖典博伽亞談裏邊嘅教導。
So nice you are qualified listeners because I'm not qualified speaker. Nice that you are qualified listeners because I'm not qualified speaker.
哦，都唔知點。
Translate.
咁係翻譯咧聖典博伽亞談嘅人咧，係比講述聖典博伽亞談嘅人咧係更有資格。
Yeah, if you are a qualified listener, you can extract nectar from many, even from a very simple speaker.
咁啊，如果係冇資格去聆聽一啲嘅靈性題目嘅人咧，佢哋唔能夠咧係即係綜合有關於講述嘅題目嘅重點。
Garadhara Pandita, one time he sat down in an assembly of devotees who are hearing a speaker, Devananda, what his name is, Devananda Pandit. He was a good speaker in Bhagavatam. He was not really a very special devotee. He was just a good speaker. He was a good speaker. So the audience were not interested in becoming enlivened in devotional service. They were just to hear a discourse because he was a good speaker. But for Garadhara Pandita, what he heard made him feel an ecstasy and start rolling in the ground and feel crying. They have to put him outside because the wife disturbing the ritual.
咁有一次咧，加拉達拉噴列咧就係嚟到一個嘅場合咧，就係、聆聽有關於一啲靈性題目嘅。咁但係喺聆聽題目嗰啲人咧，佢哋並不是係感到太大嘅興趣，但係講述嗰個靈性題目嘅人咧係非常之高超啊！咁咧係當加拉達拉噴列咧，佢聽到之後咧就非常之狂喜咧，就係、喺地上咁樣碌啦，同埋咧係發出好多聲音啦，係甚至乎俾人哋趕出去添。喺呢度。Krishna Baladeva Guru ki jai.
Yuvati is not in Hong Kong. Yuvati.
Yes, she's in Hong Kong.
And she lives nearby.
Near, very near.
And she told me that she would come for all the programs.
Oh.
And I didn't see her for popularity.
Oh.
She comes?
I don't know.
You never see her?
I saw her, but not regular.
Not in the morning.